All right. Hey guys, it's Uncle Dallas. Today's topic is the making of a devil God has not given. I'm going to go into some things pertaining to what we do in order to control or be controlled. So get ready for that. The making of a devil. All right, I'm Higher Talk. Understand, Uncle Dallas. Let's get started. As you noticed, I'm actually sitting at my desk today. I'm not actually doing my standing thing. The reason I'm not doing my standing thing is because I left my camera on. So the camera has been playing all night long and it is now dead. So today is a very provocative thought process. A lot of people ask me, okay, how do you deal with certain things and how do you handle certain things in your life? And I say, well, I handle them a lot very differently. There are different things to handle different ways. So one of the things that I get a lot of times is, how do you handle your life when it comes to spiritual things and non-spiritual things? Okay, well, what you have to realize is everything you are dealing with in your life is a product of what has happened either in your past, what's going on in your present, or somebody has conditioned you to do that. So when I look at the statement now, and let's go to I think it's 1 Timothy, the 4th chapter. Let's go to 1 Timothy, the 4th chapter, and in my brand new Bible. I want you to understand how much control you actually have. And a lot of us don't understand the type of control we have because, 2 Timothy, first, not 4th, first 1, chapter 1. 2 Timothy, chapter 1. And I haven't written in my new Bible yet, so forgive me. It's 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. I think it's verse 7 or 7. Verse 7. Verse 7. Verse 7. Okay, 2nd chapter, verse 7. I'm marking it in my book right now so we can see it. So let me give you a little background. Those of you that were in my mentoring class last night, you will probably understand this a little bit more. Those of you that want to be in mentoring class, you can go to one of the links and actually sign up for the mentoring class. That information will be given to you. If you're on TikTok or Instagram, if you can make it to YouTube, that will be a great benefit to all involved. It'll be a great benefit to all involved. And so what we notice here is the big thing about the enemy or the devil or the conflicting spirit is fear. It's fear. Fear is the thing that really takes everybody where they need to go. Your fear is, and we think that fear is actually comparable to our belief system. Fear is nowhere close to who we are and what we are. Fear is a construct that shapes into something that causes you to stop moving. That's the whole thing. Why are you in one relationship over another relationship? You're afraid. You're afraid that if you do this particular thing, what will happen to you? You're afraid that if you act a particular way, something will happen. So I want to show you something that's going to be rather deep, but if you pay attention to it, it's going to help you in the long run. If you pay attention to it, it'll help you in the long run. All right? Okay. So, God is not giving you the spirit of fear. Let's just ride down that road right quick, and let's just look at this. Look at this here, and I don't see how this is working. All right. Yeah. Here. I'm gonna try something right quick. Guys. Pay attention to this. Let's see. Okay, so we have that. Neither of those moving. Beside us is beside us is the Blue Letter Bible version of 1 Timothy, the 1st chapter and the 7th verse. My mind is working in a whole bunch of, and it goes, so said, let's blow this up a bit for some of us. Let's blow this up a bit. Okay, can you see that? Yeah, good. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power. Now let's look at power. Power is dunamis. Power is dunamis. That means explosion. Look down here, the strength and the power, ability. He's given us ability, strength, power, ability, inherent power, residence, a thing that by virtue and by nature, or which a person has. So it's not assigned power. It is your power. So he said, for God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power. Power, dunamis, is giving us power, something that is innately inside of you, love, and a sound mind. Now, we're going to look at a sound mind as well. A sound mind, and I can't say that, it's sophromios, and it is an admiration or a calling of soundness to moderation and self-control. Now, check this thing out. Now, so that passage says to you, God is not giving you the spirit of fear. He's giving you power, which is innate, meaning that you've had the power before fear got there. The sound mind means that, now look at this again. The sound mind means, now I think can you guys see that? Let's see. Can you see that? Yeah, right there. Oh, you don't see that very well. You don't see that very well. Let me shrink that just a bit so you can see it. Okay, let's shrink this a bit. Yeah, there it is. Okay, good. And it says, and right here, you see that? Right there. Right there. Right there. That's what it gives you. All right, now, here's where it gets interesting. Gets interesting. So God is not giving you a spirit of fear, but the power of love and a sound mind. If he's not giving you that information, he's not giving you that situation, what happens is you've acquired it. Now, here's where it's interesting. When you look at this passage and pay attention to this passage, dunamis is ability. So it means that the things that are happening in your life, you in turn have power over them. So the dunamis is the ability. I'm sorry, guys. What doesn't matter. Dunamis is the ability. And when you look at dunamis being the ability, it means that now what you have in your life is a distraction to the power that you have innately. Now, let's make this very simple. Now, if I lose you on Instagram, guys, make sure you go to YouTube. Instagram has been really tripping right now. Okay, so check this out. Here is what the devil essentially is. And those of you that were in the class last night, you probably get this a little better. Here's what the devil essentially is. All right? The devil essentially is a distraction to who God called you and a distraction to the power that he gave you. To the distraction of power that God gave you. That's the devil. So that means that you had to be given a distraction at the point of your birth. And here's where it gets very interesting. I did this analogy in my class last night. I said there's a man standing up. He has a zookeeper shirt on. It just says zookeeper. And he has a box. Do I have a box? Okay, good. He has a box. He has zookeeper on the shirt. He has a box. And the box is, we'll just say the box is this little. He hits the box and you hear a rattling noise. Okay? He hits the box and you hear a rattling noise. So the zookeeper says to you, would anybody open this box? There's no markings on it. There's some holes in it. You can't see in the box, but when he hits the box, it makes a rattling noise. How many of you would open the box? Now, being spiritual and deep, a whole bunch of people go, well, I would. But 9 times out of 10, you would not open the box. And the reason you would not open the box is because what the rattling noise would make you feel like is that there is a snake inside of it. Okay? So most of you, first of all, you're backing up because he says zookeeper and you hear a box. So you ask the zookeeper, what's in the box? And the zookeeper says to you, isn't it obvious? You hear the noise, you see the box shaking. What do you think's in the box? What he's just done is he's attempting to give you fear. He's attempting to give you fear. So what he's attempting to do is create a position for the enemy or the devil in your life. And he's doing it through your ability to imagine what's in the box. This is happening to you every single solitary day. You are being controlled by what you are perceiving that's in the box. So you create your own devil. So when you're not able to pay your rent, the devil is they're going to throw you out. When you can't get gas, the devil is you're going to run out of gas. You create your own devil, and what happens is you put enough devils around you, it becomes your reality, and how you live your life is altered by the devils that control your life. So somebody finally says, you know what, I'm not afraid of snakes, I've got immunization, and they open up the box. And when they open up the box, there's nothing in the box except someone saying, I got you. God is not giving you a spirit of fear because it is a shapeshifter. It is a distraction. It is something that will keep you from moving in the places that you should move. Some ministers are preaching right now, at this very moment, under the duress of saying the wrong thing. They're afraid to speak. They're afraid to do anything. Some of you are in relationships. You're afraid of the same thing. You're afraid to get the wrong man, the wrong woman. You're afraid of going out of the house. You're afraid of all these different things because what you are trying to do is maintain a place where you are under control, but that control protects you. That where you're under control, but the control protects you. So when you look at this passage, he said God is not giving you the spirit of fear. He's not giving you the spirit of fear. Now let's look at this thing. Let's look at this thing. Okay? He's not giving you the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Now, okay? He's not giving you the spirit of fear. Now, here's what's interesting about that. In a number of passages, you see the word spirit. Now, in this passage, spirit means the third person in the triune body. And I'm going to go a little deeper and study the word spirit in the Greek and what does it actually mean. But the word they're using here is about God. So God says, I have not given you the personality or the divine personality of fear. God is not giving you the divine personality of fear. Now, what does that mean? That means the divine personality means the personality that is divinely connected and carries a level of power. You are divinely connected to the Spirit. So you carry an innate level of power. That's what the Dunamis says. You carry an innate level of power. That power is not just power to do positive things, it's power, period. So you can take your power and use your power for good. You can use your power for evil. But the key becomes you are so powerful that everything has to control your power, or otherwise you would unlimitedly move. You would do things unlimited. You would do unlimited things. I guess that's the best way to say that. You would do unlimited things. So when he says this, why do things go wrong? The reason things go wrong, from the moment that you were told no as a child from to now, you were given gains and things that will control you. You were set in positions that will control you. You were set in positions that will keep you under control. There is nothing that happens on this planet that you cannot do. There are people on this call right now that can do brain surgery. And let me take a pause for station identification. Hi guys, I'm William Dallas. This is the Higher Standards Organization, and this is us. Okay? So, if you're here, make sure you like, Make sure you share. Make sure you subscribe, because we're going to keep giving content like this. We're going to take you to places that most places don't want to take you and others are afraid to take you. That being said, so when you look at that, back to what I'm saying, when you look at this situation, you look at what's going wrong with my life. Okay, so what is the tool that is used to control your life? This is where you have to discern. This is where you have to pay attention. And let's get beyond this situation. You have to pay attention because there's a part of you that plans for tomorrow when you don't know what tomorrow brings. So what you have to do is access the person that knows tomorrow. You may not understand how that thing is handled, because in your logical mind, you say, well, maybe it should be done like this. What you're doing is establishing a different level of control. In your logical mind, it should be done like this. This is why I say common sense is not common. Common sense is defined by the system and the world that you live in, and that's the common thought that you're giving to control you. So it's common sense not to park on the white line. It's common sense to not cross the street till the light tells you red. It's common sense when you drive inside the lines. And those common sense things and those personalities give you the feeling of living this life according to the atmosphere. So that's common sense. You don't have common sense. You have the Spirit of God, which tells you when to walk in between the white lines and when not. How many times have you been in a situation and something in you just said, man, that's just not right. Something doesn't feel right about this. And so what you do is you either listen to it and follow it, or you let it go and find out it was true all the time. So it's saying you innately have power. So now what you have to do is take responsibility for your life. Yeah, that thing. You have to take responsibility for your life. So when you look at this, and let's see what Romans 8:15 says. When you look at this, you have to realize that God is putting you in a position where you are innately powerful. Ladies, you are innately powerful. Tonight, for those of you that have already signed up for it, tonight we're doing the True Power of Woman at 8 o'clock. And you can register for it on my bio, in TikTok on my bio. Okay? Now, Romans 8:15 says this: for ye have not received the spirit of bondage to fear. Let me mark to make sure. This is a new Bible, guys, so I haven't written it. You have not received the spirit of bondage unto fear. So let's look at that. Let's look at that. Let's go back to our blue letter Bible and let's look at that. You've not been given the spirit of bondage unto fear. That's what fear is. Fear is bondage that controls you. Now, here's what's happening to you. What is it, 8:15? Here's what's happening to you. What's happening to you is I have to control you. I've got to bind you. Because if any woman follows this, now any of you women follow the teaching that I'm going to share with you tonight, it cuts you loose in such a way that you will realize the things in your life have actually been held back by the power of the things that put pressure on you, or basically fear. And it is deep. It's really deep. Fear is so deep inside of us that we think it's consistently us. Okay? Got it. Now, check this out, guys. Check this out. Check this out. So, now, we went to the word. Here's the passage in blue letter. Here's the passage. Right here. For ye have not received the spirit of bondage. That's in slavery. You have not received a slave mandate. You're not supposed to be enslaved by anything. Anything. Nothing is supposed to enslave you. Now, look at the funny thing, or check out what receive says. To take. To take with your hands. To lay hold of. It's not talking about the fact of you have not, it was not given to you. It's the fact you weren't there to take it. You're not supposed to take it. You're not supposed to take it. So he's saying you have not gotten the ability to take it. You're not supposed to take it. Take hold of it and hold it. It's the craziest thing. When I saw receive, like receive means I send it no. Receive says, I know that you have thoughts that go through your mind and you think they're your thoughts. My brother, my sister, those are not your thoughts. Those are assignments to get you to think the way they want you to think. That's how you create a devil. So now I got you thinking what I want you to think. I got you grabbing what I want you to grab. And now you've lost your total spiritual identity. You are no longer the way you're supposed to look. You're no longer what you were supposed to be. Why? Because you forgot that you had power, love, and a sound mind. So now you've created your own devil. And you're supplied. This system supplies you with more than enough stuff that'll let you be the devil you need to be. Your finances are only as large as you believe they are. Check this out. I don't care how much money you have right now. I don't care how much money you have. You have $1 million, you have $5, you have $5 billion. Stop trying to assume what you should do with your money and start figuring out what steps and what plan that money or what assignment that money has. Here's what I mean by that. Right now you have a light bill. Your light bill is $400. Let's be nice. Let's use round numbers. Your light bill is $100. Your car insurance is $200. And your light bill is $100. So that's $400. So you get $400 in. And in that $400, your rent is $400. So what do you pay? Now, most of you say, well, I pay my rent. Some of you say, well, I'll pay that. That's where your challenge becomes. Your challenge becomes, I think I know more than the Spirit of God knows. So I spend some time going, okay, Spirit, positive energy, whatever you want to call God, what do I do? If he tells you pay your light bill, pay your insurance, and take the other $20 and go take your kids to lunch, you do that. And the other $200 and take your kids to lunch. Or he may tell you take the $200 downstairs and pay on your rent. Well, they don't take, you're trying to be smart again. See, the other key that the enemy wants you to get, and I want you guys to get this, the other way to create a devil is to make you so smart that you don't listen to God. Yeah. To make you so smart that you don't listen to God. Well, I don't hear from God. Nah, no, you don't. But you know that he speaks to you. You know he has the ability to urge you into a different direction. That's where we have the biggest challenge. The biggest way to create a devil in your life is to make you believe you know more than God. Now, nobody in the upfront world will say they know more than God. Nobody will say I'm smarter than God. But you handle your life that way all the time. You ready? I hope you're ready. Everybody got your pens and paper. You do it all the time. We all do it. Every one of us do it. I do it. You do it. We all do it. And here's how we do that. Right now, and let's use money because money is a big deal. Right now, if I told everybody, and follow me, I'm just saying this to follow me. If I told everybody, forget it. God told everybody on this line, everybody that's here, all the people, I think there's about 100 people here. I told everybody here, give $100 to whatever. Give $100 to whatever. Here is what's happening to every person in here. Most of you will say, but I don't have it. Like God didn't know that. Some of you will say, I have it, but I have to do something else with it. Like God doesn't know you have a light bill. Others of you say, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I'll get it tomorrow or some other day. And even though you have it, you'll say, all those things put you in the position where you are saying to God, you know more than he knows. Now, that's a really wide example, but it's very simple in other ways. Anytime you distract yourself, now, Anytime you distract yourself from what you need to do, how many times did you work on your book today? How many times did you work on this today? How many times you done this today, what you're supposed to do, and you didn't do it? You're waiting till tomorrow that you know that tomorrow is promised to you. You know you should be studying, but you don't study because I'll do it later. You become God. That's how you create a devil. You take yourself from the God of all knowing and reduce him to the God of not knowing. You have no idea what tomorrow's going to bring. There are those of you, I made a comment yesterday. This is the time for cars. You want a car? Start to go look for the car. God's going to give favor to people that want cars. This is a season for a car. You need a new car? Start going to look for them. Well, I don't have credit. I don't need this. There you go. You're trying to be God again. You're trying to figure out how God's going to do it instead of just following the process and letting God do it. You have created your own devil. The devil didn't tell you you couldn't have it. You assumed because of what your world looks like that you can't have it. When I talked last night I said what we have to realize is the knowledge of Genesis was not about the knowledge of good and evil. It was about being God and trusting God. That's all that was about. When they left the garden, he said, they're now as us. They know as we are. So we left the womb of the Spirit and went into the nature of who we are. And you are now saying, I know more than God does, so I'm going to do it the way I think God wants me to do it. I tell people all the time, and I made this comment the other day, and I said, go after it. If you want a car, go after the car. A couple of people started looking for cars. Now, am I saying go get a car? Am I saying go not get a car? What I'm saying to you is stop trying to be God, because stop being the lesser God and be connected to the greater God. Now, we thank God for grace and favor. We thank God for mercy. Stop hurting. We thank God for mercy. So he forgives us. Yeah, he forgives us. We thank God that he forgives us. His mercy endures forever. Here's what I need you to understand. Stop letting your fears, what you think about a situation, how you feel about a situation, what you believe somebody's doing with that situation. Stop letting those things be your catalyst by which you believe you should move. Yeah. Check this out. Romans, the 6th chapter, I think it's Romans 6 and 17. That's 7. Romans 6. Yeah, Romans 6. Yeah, Romans 6 and 17. Check this out. Romans 6 and 17 says, thanks be to God, but God be thanks that ye were servants of sin, but ye have obeyed from the heart the form of doctrine which delivers you. Being made free from sin, verse 18, you have become servants of righteousness, the right way to do this. You are not bound by anything. You are not bound, and I know I've got to keep teaching this till we get it. You are not bound by anything. You are not bound. Listen, there is nothing that has the ability to control you. Nothing. You are the only powerful source that you have. So stop trying to let things control you. I was talking to a young lady the other day, and she said, well, I really want to be married. And I said, okay, we're going to pray that God opens you up and teaches you how to be in the position. And she says, well, I don't want no younger man. I don't want a younger man. I don't want a younger man. I'm on live. Go on YouTube. I'm on live.
Okay.
All right, bye. I don't want a younger man. And I said, why? She said, oh, no, I can't deal with no younger man. And I said, okay, so let me see if I have this straight. Why don't you want a younger man? She said, I don't need nobody acting immature. I said, have you ever dealt with a 40-year-old or 50-year-old that acts immature? She says, you're right. I said, it's amazing how you take the generalities of the world and define how God is supposed to move in your life because of your age. Now, if somebody came and called you old, you ready to fight. I am not old. But if a man came to you that had his stuff together, well, he doesn't have experience, says who? You are still trying to be smart. Go get a car. Well, I don't have good credit. I don't have a down payment. Says who? You're still trying to be smart. I want a new house. And I talked to somebody today say this. I want a new house. I don't know how we're going to pay for it. You're going to pay for it with what God tells you. Stop trying to be smart. Start trying to listen. Pay attention to what God is saying. Pay attention to how he's trying to put this thing in life for you. Pay attention. This is why I want you guys to pray. This is why I want you guys to get into this thing. This is why I want to help women in their power, because there are attributes that God has given to women that will blow up things and cause things to happen, cause manifestations like you've never seen before. That's why you talk to women. Why? Because the woman is the birthplace of everything. So now, stop trying to figure it out and start praying it through. Stop trying to figure it out and start praying it through. You've created your own devil. Oh, the devil don't want me to have a car. No, he can't stop you from having a car. You have to realize the systems that are created in this world, these systems are not created to stop you. They can't. They're created to distract you. So let's talk about cars. Let's use cars for a second. So you don't have credit to have a car. Okay? Had somebody call me the other day and said, I see this car and they're asking me for this car. And I didn't want to say this to them because I didn't want them to feel like I was in any ways doubting they can have a car. They finally got the car, and I pray that they give us a testimony of them getting the car. And they go get the car, and when they go get the car, because I'm gonna show you something that actually happened. When they go get the car, they put the person on this very long lease, on this very long payment, and the payment basically brought the car down to the price that the person wanted the car to be. And the person said, "Should I get the car?" And I said, in my mind, if you're going to pay the car off early, your initial payments mean absolutely nothing. So if they took a 30,000 car, took it for 72 months, and your payment was $300 a month, and then you pay the $300 a month, but you never pay the car $300 a month with the hopes of having the whole 72 months. You pay the car off for a certain amount of time. Your credit bills, you trade the car in, you refinance the car, shorten the time of the car, and now you bought the car. Or you take the payment for the car and you begin to say, "God, I'm not going to pay this car for the rest of my life. Give me the money to pay the car off." And God will work it out so you pay the car off. He may give you odd jobs. He may show you a business. You pay the car off. Because tomorrow is not promised. You don't know what's going to happen with tomorrow. So check this out. Back in the day, your car payments were either 12 months, 36 months, 60 months, and that was it. If you got a used car, it's 12 months. You got a casually used car, it's 64 months. Every once in a while, they gave you a 48 or they gave you a 60. That was it. So the used car dealership had a meeting. They said 9 times out of 10, whenever we have used cars, if they get a used car, most of them, the highest percentage of them, don't pay used cars off. Or they would have credit to buy a good car. So people that don't have good credit, they don't normally pay the cars off, so we can recycle the car. So give them as long as possible. That gives us the more opportunity for us to get the car back and recycle the car. I know y'all don't believe this. Look it up. So now you can get your car, depending on the bank, up to 9 years to pay your car off. Not because they like us, not because they want you to buy a car, but the probabilities that within that 9 years, you're not going to pay what you need to pay, and they can pick that car up and resell the car or get a lump sum of money from you for the car. Yeah. So what you have to realize is, if God put you in a position where that car that you want is at $300 and it's going to pay for 84 months, your goal then goes paying that car off Find out what the medium, the middle ways is. Find out what the balance place is. The balance place for a 60-month car is 3 years, depending on the interest. After 3 years, you can now go refinance that car. So now you can get any car that you want to get. So I said, go get cars. Stop trying to think for God. Stop trying to wonder just go and do what you do. Why? God got you. Why? Well, what about my credit? What about my down payment? What about all those things? I'm sorry. Maybe you didn't hear me. God's got you. You have to realize in all those things you have control. And if you don't understand you have control, you let them control you. Yeah. You create your own devil. Money, finances, relationships, all those things. I can go through all those things. Then you realize where your true power is. Your true power is not the fact that you have good credit. The fact that you have credit in heaven is the problem. So let's go a little bit further. So you go into the car dealership, you say you want the car, and you go looking for the car. They don't have the car you want. This has happened to us. So we get ready to leave. But the person that had the car we wanted brought the car back, and that car in turn became our car. In all your areas, you have to bind up the devil and give freedom to your power. Bind up. See, when he said whatever is bound on heaven is bound on earth, whatever is bound on earth is bound in heaven, whatever is loosed on heaven is loosed on earth, you have to understand that you have to bind the fear of not getting it. I'm talking to one of the sisters and she says, I don't have any money, but she has land. If you have land, you have money. Fear. God is not giving you that fear. So stop taking the fear. And then let me give you this last part. And I said that I was not going to be here all day. I said that I was not going to be here all day. I keep trying to turning these phones off, but if I turn them off, then it's a long story. So let's take the other side of it. So now if you have land, you have money. Okay? The other side of that is understanding that there is a supernatural ingredient to whatever you do. So, what's the supernatural ingredient? As they went, they were healed. Some of you have to make a movement forward in order to get things to happen. But you're not moving at all. Why are you not moving at all? Because you have assumed that what you know how to do and what you have at your disposal is who you are. You think you're defined by the fact you have a little house, a little car, and all those kind of things. You think that's your definition. You think that's what made you who you are. No, those are unfortunate circumstances that have created an illusion that you are less than who you actually are. Unfortunate situations that have created an illusion to make you think that's who you are. That's not who you are. If you're a woman, your power is prayer. You need to know prayer, breathe prayer. You need to be so deep in prayer that prayer becomes your vernacular. It becomes your terminology. It speaks to your your narrative. It speaks to your narrative. If you're a man, you need to be praying and doing and praying and doing because God is leading you through your tasks. But woman, he's leading you through your connection to him. Connect to God every single solitary day. Every day deal with a demon. Every day deal with a spirit. Every day deal with a devil. Until you have such a creative, clear connection to God that when you speak something, that thing happens. You can do that. You can do that. So how do we do this? What do we do? Stop being afraid to be wrong. Stop being afraid to fail. Stop being afraid that something may happen and I won't be able to fulfill it. Stop being embarrassed by how people think that your life is supposed to be. Let's deal with relationships. When you understand that God has created you to be in a relationship that produces life for you and for everybody that sees it, you then begin to understand something very clear. That the people that you assigned yourself to because of their physical attributes or their ability to make money or their ability not to make money or their ability to do something physical to you has misled you. Yeah, it's misled you. I tell these things to especially my independent women. Number one, a man should have a purpose and he should have a vision. Your job is not to create the purpose. Your job is not to create the vision. Your job is to yield to the purpose of the destination. Number one. That means if you meet a man, he doesn't have a job, he doesn't have a purpose, he doesn't have a plan, he's not your man. He's not your man, because your man doesn't look like that. Your man doesn't look like a purpose and without a job and those kind of things. That's not what your man looks like. Your man, which may be the same man in a couple of months or even in a couple of years, has a purpose, has a plan, and sometimes even has a job. But what you have to understand is the attributes of what you see have absolutely nothing to do with the fact of whether he's a good man or a bad man. It has to do with the fact that is he in the season where you are part of his plan. Let's flip this. You are a woman. If you have not studied business, accounting, and family structure, if you are busy trying to figure out who's going to take care of you, if you're busy trying to figure out who's going to submit to you and give you all the physical gratification you can, if you're trying to find somebody that comes in and not becomes a part of the authority of your household, becomes a part of the yielding of where you are, meaning he comes into your house and you make the rules and you tell him what to do, then you're not ready for it. You're not his wife. You follow me? Why? Because here's the thing you have to understand. God has not tried to put two people together so that they can control each other or don't control. Your job is to become the image of God on this planet. Your job is to understand that she walks in a level of power and connection that brings him to the place that he needs to be and puts you behind the structure that you need to be. So let me make this make sense. You are a woman. You make $80,000 a year. Let's be nice. You make $800,000 a year. You make $800,000 a year. You meet a man that makes only $30,000 a year. He works. He has plans. He really has the heart for God. He really is trying to do something greater. For you to go, hey, I've got a house, and you have to come in and pay my rent in this house, you are silly. That is a silly woman's move, because you believe that your caliber is defined by the fact that you've established the world that they've created the way they want you to look. So now you discount this man. The reason you discount this man is because he doesn't make as much money as you do. But here's what you have to understand. He has a plan. He has written the plan out. He has all the layouts of the plan. He has everything in the plan. Remember, you're not to create the plan. You can help the plan, but you're not to create it. You're not to take over the plan. You can help the plan, but you're not to create it. But here's what's interesting. You make $800,000 a year, and you're sitting here looking at him, waiting for him to pay for your rent. When in actuality, you could sit down and say, okay, sweetie, let's figure out how to make this $30,000 thing a $130,000 thing. Let's figure out how to make it an $830,000 thing. Why? Because you as a woman have the power to give him strength. So we take our old house and the house that is huge, and we go, let's rent this house out, which will bring us $5,000 a month, and let's get us a house just for you and I. And whatever house you want to be in, bro, I'm in it. My wife told me peanut butter and a hut. As long as you in there, baby, I'm there. We can live in peanut butter and we can eat peanut butter and jelly in the hut. We're not going to be there, but she says she takes it. Meet a young lady. Never forget this all the days of my life. Meet a young lady. She runs her life. She does well with her life. She meets a man. He is working for one of the major delivery companies in this world. He's making about $72,000 part-time, which is great money. But she is a person that likes the nicer and finer things in life. So she's wondering, why is he only making $72,000 a year and only working part-time and staying in this little apartment and barely making it? She's doing well. She talks to him. She said, why haven't you maybe tried to get a raise or something. She said, well, they're not offering. He said, well, they're not offering raises, and I really never asked, and I'm doing okay. She also was a very good cook. So she calls up the boss. She calls his boss and says, hey, we're inviting you over for dinner. When she finished, the boss says, I'll be there. She tells her husband, hey, tell your boss when we're having dinner. He said you invited him to dinner. She said, yeah, he came. Yeah, he came. He agreed. She calls the man. He comes over. They have dinner. We'll just say on Wednesday he shows up for dinner. She's an excellent cook, and she's cooking. And so while she's cooking, she's talking to him, and he's sitting there because he's a very quiet man. He took care of that. And she looks at the boss, and she said, hey, I got a question. He goes, hey, my name is such and such. How you doing? I've got a question. She said, why hasn't my husband been moved to management? He's been with the company for over 7 years. Why hasn't he been moved to management? And the boss says to her, he's never asked. She said, consider that piece of chocolate cake him asking for it. He said, meet me tomorrow. We'll take care of it. He went from $75,000 to $150,000 in one piece of cake. He had a plan. She had the power. You have to stop trying to figure this thing out and just do it the way God says. Go after it. You've created these devils. Now you got to put all these devils out of your life. You got to put all these devils out of your world. All the devil of fear, the devil of he may take advantage of me, the devil of she may take advantage of me, the devil of what if they gonna do that? Well, all those devils have to come out of your life. And the one thing you have to realize is I'm not smart. I'm not smart to the world, but I'm a genius in the spirit. Write it down. I'm not smart in the world, but I'm a genius in the spirit. Everybody that can, write it down. I'm not smart in this world, but I'm a genius in the spirit. I'm not smart in the world, but I'm a genius in the spirit. See, you have to get past all these things that have hurt you to stop you from being what God called you and gave room to the devil. Give no room to the devil, but you've given him room because he takes care of you. Do you know that? Most of you have allowed the devil to take care of you. He takes care of me. He protects me. I'm not smart in the world, but I'm a genius in the spirit. If you ever realize that, you'll never have another challenge that you can't fix. I may not be smart in the world. I may not get an IQ of all that. And I tell people all the time, I am not smart. I am not smart by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm a genius in the spirit. I've come up with million-dollar ideas, not knowing that they came from the spirit, but I thought they were me till I realized, like, God, I'm not that smart. The followers I have right now on TikTok, I didn't do them. I don't know how to do them. I don't know what it takes to get it done. I don't know the algorithm. I've got Jessica and Leslie helping me create the algorithm and a couple of other people. I don't know that because I'm not smart in the world, but I'm a genius in the spirit. And so I depend on the spirit to tell me how to do certain things. Ladies, I don't want a younger man. Please be quiet. Because you'll get an older man that's immature. You want what God has for you. You want what God wants you to have. You want what God has placed in your life. I could not have planned Kendra Dallas if I had prayed all my life. We are such a wonderful balance. So people are looking at us going, you are my couple. What is it called, Jess? You follow me? And so when you understand that, you start going, okay, now back to what I tell you to do all the time. Right. Everybody that has something to write with, say yes. Say yes, I have something to write with. Everybody say I have something to write. Do you have something to write with? Everybody that takes notes, that writes, say yes. All right? Now, what I want you to do is I want you to take your notepad and write down one thing you want God to do before the end of this month. One thing you want God to do by the end of this month. We're going to do this thing. We're going to get into this thing like we can. If you're a woman, you need to become a part of the Power of Women's Conference tonight. If you are in it, get your girlfriends, get everybody, because I'm going to get deep with you guys. Go to the link. It's $20 to see the whole thing. If you just want to listen, it's free. If you just want to listen, you don't want to see the notes, you don't want the little booklet we have, you don't want the ebook, you want none of that, don't worry about it. But I want everybody to write one thing within your ability to do it. I want you to write one thing down on your piece of paper by the end of the month. And I'm going to do it. By the end of the month, we want one thing on our piece of paper. Okay? That one thing. You write them there. Right? You can write across it. I'm not smart in the world, but I'm a genius in the spirit. And in the spirit, I want to accomplish this. For those of you that want cars, cars is a good thing to write down right now, because cars. And then every day of this month, today is the 4th. Every day of this month, I want you to write one thing down to move you closer to that. Every day of this month, you pray and write that one day. Every day you pray. Today my prayer is this. Write down what that prayer produced. And you do that. And watch what God does by the end of the month. Because you're about to turn a world that did not work out to a world that's going to work out. One thing. Don't even spread yourself thin like that. One thing. What do you want me to do? How do you want me to do it? What? Pray. Stay in that thing. Now, here's what you have to understand. This is what you have to understand. You're not praying hoping that it happens. You're praying knowing that it's going to happen. Your prayer is knowing it's going to happen. Your prayer is not hoping. So if you know it's going to happen, you go, God, what am I doing today to get there? And your expectation is every day you're looking at how that's going to work out. Every day you're looking at how that's going to work out. Because it's going to work. Now, it may be the last day of the month. It may be the next day of the month. It may be tomorrow. So what you do, number 1, write it down. Number 2, pray every day. Number 3, move toward it. Go toward it. Here's what I need you to understand. Here's the difference. I'm almost about to stand up. Here's the difference. Let's do car for a second. Let's do car. That's what I'm going to write down on mine. Let's do car. So you want a car. Number 1, write down the car that you want. Figure it out. Write down the car that you want. So I go, well, I can't afford it and I can't. No. Write down the automobile that you want. Here's what I need you to understand. The Bible says, come let us reason together. So that means if you write down, I want the 2021 Mercedes-Benz G Series. When you say that part of it, then from that point on, you have to realize that that's the car that you want. What happens within that process is you then put yourself in a position where God can say, okay, you don't need that car, you need this car, which is the same car, but it's better. There's certain cars, okay? So you go after it. You look for it. You study it. You figure that car out. And every day of your prayer, you keep making that thing a reality in your life. You're not looking at it that it may not happen. You're looking at it that as if it's going to happen. Go after it. Go to the dealership. Go drive the car. Go become so a part of this thing that as you pray, God gives you plan. He may tell you to go to a different dealership. But here's something that's going to happen to you. You ready? You know what else is going to happen to you? You become accustomed to hearing the voice of God because you take down all the fears and the things that stop you from hearing from God, and you become accustomed to the voice of God. That's what you're doing. So this system is not just giving you a car or giving you a house or giving you that. It's getting you into the process of hearing God. So when the car happens, then you go to the next thing and the next thing. And now you have a rhythm for the Spirit of God. You have a listening for His power. You listen for His ear and you follow His move. Whatever it is. Now, I tell you to do one thing at a time. Do one thing at a time. And the reason I tell you to do one thing at a time, because as you do one thing at a time, you begin. Because you got to start somewhere. Some of us want to just jump in. You got to start somewhere. I'm telling you, write the vision, make it plain that they may run that read it. Writing that is so important. It is a spiritual thing. All right, that's enough. One thing. Now, faith says the evidence of that thing and the substance of that thing is done. So the moment you write it, it's real. The moment you write it, it's real. Period. The moment you write it, it's real. Don't think about it being real, hoping it's been. The moment you write down car, God is already in place. It's a spiritual concept. It's real. So if it's real, you want to see it just as much as you going out to the garage and seeing your car. Stop hoping. You don't want to hope. I hope we get no. You see this car. You know tomorrow he's going to give you something else. Tomorrow he's going to show you something else. Now, this is mentor stuff. Now, I'm setting a timing on God, but God is not a part of timing. So the moment that you said it and the moment your mind, it becomes reality to your mind, he's now releasing it into your timeline. Ladies, this will happen faster with you because you're connected to God. Men, you're going to have tasks that you have to complete so that God can do this for you. Why? That's how God is with men. With women, he's just talk to me, let me take care of you like you're my daughter. Got it? Love it. Love it. Love it. Now, that's it. Now, as you have now, that's how you defeat the devil. You've made a devil, that's how you defeat him. You defeat him by counteracting whatever he tries to do. When the thought comes to your mind that you're not going to get the car, you simply go sing a song, go pray, do like my sister Vet does. Get you a song and start praising. He's going to give me a new car. He's going to give me a new car. New car, going to get a new car. Going to get a new car. Going to get a new car. But he's going to give me a new car. It's not that very far. He's going to give me a new car. New car, new car, new car. Don't let anything stop you. When your mind goes, well, you don't have good credit. I don't need good credit. He's going to give me a new car. New car, new car, new car. He's going to give me a new car. Don't let this stuff. See, this is what you have to realize. Those thoughts come into your mind and those thoughts want to distract you. Nope. You don't have no money. I got all the money I need. He's going to give me a new car. New car, new car, new car, new car, new car. I don't care what that. It's not about money. I don't care if they say about your credit. I don't care if they say about anything. You're not looking to go to talk to man about this. You are looking for God to tell you the access to where what he's given you is already there. It's there. You come to my house, you go, what's the address? You know the address is there. So when you go and you can't find the address, you don't go, well, I guess he's not there. No, the address says he's there. So you need the address. You need the combination. You need the formula to get that. That's the key. The key, it's done. You simply need the formula. Figure out what kind of car you need to do what you need to do. Figure out what kind of automobile or house or what kind of healing you want and begin to live in that reality. Don't stop because of what you lack. Don't stop because of what people say. Don't stop because it doesn't look like what you think it needs to look like. You only stop when the thing has manifested. Okay? All right. That's it. Get into the reality of it. Now, I'm going to say this for those of you that are not a part of the class tonight. Go to who's here? I don't know who's here. Okay, go to this website. Let me see if I can get it here. And I think that's it. Yeah. Go to this website and register. Go to this website and register. All right. Let's see. Pen. Okay. Go to this website and register for it. It's tonight at 8 o'clock. It is a donation of $20. You will get so much information out of that, especially if you've been here. Get girlfriends, everybody. I want to help 10,000 women. See, I know that if we get the women to change and the women to walk in their power, we can change the world. Now, I got a surprise for some of you that already have signed up. Mrs. Dallas is going to be there. Yeah, Mrs. Dallas is going to be on the show tonight. And we have a special announcement for a conference, because now the doors are beginning to open and God is beginning to let me go to different places. So if you want to be a part of it, then it's time. All right, people, I am Uncle Dallas, Pastor Dallas. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, meet us on Instagram, meet us on TikTok, and we do our question and answers there. I love you guys. I thank God for you guys. And I will see you Monday, Wednesday. I will see you on tonight at 8 o'clock if you are watching our thing. And I will see you Friday if you are just a part of us. Make sure you follow us on all the different social media sites. I love you. I will see you later. I'm Uncle Dallas. You've just been taken to a higher standard. Peace.